Recently, I've had a ton of inquiries from prospective clients who are confused about the Webflow pricing plan structure. So whether you are a CEO, business owner of a company, considering a new or redesigned website built in Webflow, or perhaps a marketing director of an organization, I'm going to explain exactly what you need to know here about Webflow's pricing plans. So let's just get into it. By the way, if you're new here, Bailey Canning, independent full stack marketing strategist. Check out the rest of my videos if you want to learn more about my portfolio and how I can potentially help you out with a Webflow build. But let's get right into it here. So all you really need to worry about, I would say, are the site plans here. The workspace plans, this might be of inquiry if you are a marketing team here, for example, but you certainly don't need to go into the freelancer or agency section. Let's get on with the site plan. So you can see here, these are the main plans, and I'm not going to go super in depth into detail about all the different nuances and all that type of stuff because I assume you can read and do that yourself. I just want to explain what you're really getting into when it comes with these Webflow site plans. So first of all, do note we're on the yearly section here. I recommend to all my clients that they just pay yearly so that they can save the money. But what you need to know here is that the free plan, this is really just if you're looking to fool around in the Webflow platform and you want to see how it actually is to work with the designer. The basic plan, that's going to be for websites that don't need the CMS. The CMS, the content management system, is for dynamic content. Think blog posts, team member sections, case studies, portfolio projects, things of that nature. So it's really only if you're going to have a website that features a lot of content. However, if you are watching this video and you are a marketing director or a serious business owner looking to leverage your website as a true marketing machine, then I imagine that you're likely going to be looking at the CMS plan at least as a bare minimum. I know, for example, almost all my clients essentially are. That's going to be $23 a month. You're going to have the custom domain. You're going to have 150 pages. You're going to have 20 CMS collections. And then within that, you're going to get 2,000 CMS items. So that's kind of separated from the 150 pages. Those are static pages. These CMS items are all the different collection items, essentially. So across up to 20 different CMS collections, you could have 2,000 items, and then you have all the hosting information here. Now, some people will complain about Webflow that the hosting is expensive, and I'm not here to tell you that it's cheap. It certainly isn't. However, I do say you get what you pay for, and do know that it is directly integrated with Amazon Web Services or AWS, which I do think is the best hosting provider in the game at the moment. So you get what you pay for, and it's top tier hosting, and of course you're going to pay top tier dollars. Now, here is one thing to really pay attention to here is when it comes to the hosting, the gigabyte bandwidth limit. You'll see here in the CMS plan, it's 50 gigabytes. Quite frankly, that's not a ton in my opinion, and if you are investing significant amounts of money into paid ads, or you happen to be getting a lot of traffic organically from social media, the remnants of SEO, maybe your email list, direct traffic even, whatever it is, do know with that 50 gigabyte bandwidth, heavy traffic sites are going to hit that fairly quickly. And this has actually been a point of contention in the Webflow space because it used to be that maybe 6 months ago or so, every site plan came with 200 gigabytes of bandwidth, which now you need to pay for $80 a month yearly. Whereas in the past, all you needed to pay was $23 a month yearly. So fortunately, all the old site plans were grandfathered into that. But for new websites just getting onto Webflow, yeah, I'm not going to lie, $80 a month is quite a lot of money. Do that for a year, that's nearly $1,000 a year just for hosting and your website platform. Honestly, that's where I think you really got to be careful. I know, for example, one of my friends who has a startup, he uses Webflow, but then he migrated to hosting and now he's saving like $2,000 a year. So that is the main sticking point, I would say. You really want to be mindful of the bandwidth limit. One hack is though, at least as the time I'm making this video, if you have an old site built in Webflow, maybe you're looking to rebuild it, you can transfer the site plan. So do keep that in mind. Think about the business plan, just basically the CMS plan on steroids, if you will. So if you pass that 150 page limit, if you need more CMS collection items or you need more CMS items, or eventually you're going to need more bandwidth, then that's where you're going to get into the business plan here. Now the enterprise plan here, again, that's really, you're going to have to be like a Fortune 500 company, for example, to be interested in that. If you are, definitely hit me up. But do note that's going to cost probably a couple $1,000s a year from what I understand. So that is a significant investment. And that's why they don't even list the price here. Now, you will see the e-commerce tab here. Quite frankly, I really don't believe that if you are going to be building a high functioning e-commerce type website, I really don't think Webflow is the best platform for that. I recommend Shopify for most people. Keep in mind, $30 a month. Number one, you could already get a Shopify plan, which would have a lot more features. But then also, 2% transaction fee on top of the fee that is already going to Stripe or PayPal. I mean, it just really adds up. So I don't know. You can just use a Stripe or a PayPal button, and that's how I recommend you go about it. And then you could still build the site with Webflow. Last thing I really want to touch on here is going to be these add-ons. This is for, as you can see here, like A/B testing and personalizing the copy based on various different visitor demographics and data you may have collected on them. Honestly, for $2.99 a month, that's very pricey. I mean, we're approaching $4,000 a year with that, and there are cheaper services out there. And then keep in mind, this is just for 25,000 page views. Say you have 100,000 page views, you can see how much that quickly adds up. Now we're talking about like $7,000 easy per year. So Optimize, as of this moment, I'm not sure I'd recommend it, but honestly, I don't have a lot of experience with it in Webflow. It's nice to have it natively integrated, don't get me wrong, but I do know that there's other A/B testing platforms out there that can do similar things for much cheaper. So you're going to want to do your research on that. Analyze, though, I think is a much better value proposition, especially if it's a smaller website. We'll say even $5,000, $19 a month, 10,000 sessions a month. I think that's probably where most businesses are going to be. You're looking at $30 a month, $360 a year or so. Yeah, it's not great, especially when you consider that Google Analytics, for example, is free. But also Google Analytics 4, not going to lie, it's just complete trash, I got to say. So Analyze, I think, is definitely worth it, especially for the fact that you don't need the cookie setup anymore. And then you also don't need to worry about the privacy policy implications. So Analyze, I think, is good. I'm going to get that on a couple of my websites going up. Localization, that's going to be if you need translation. I would recommend this as well because it's just going to be a lot better to do it inside of the Webflow platform versus some other third-party tool. And I think this is very reasonable, all things considered. For example, number one, if you're doing up to 3 different localities, you're probably making a lot of revenue, so it makes sense. Only $9 a month. And then even up to 10 different localities, $30 a month, totally reasonable. So that is the Webflow pricing plan. Hopefully it makes sense. Workspace plans, again, are only really going to be needed if you're a marketing team. If that's the case, I think you're going to need this growth plan. So this would be an organization that is building Webflow projects internally. So I'm not sure how popular that really is. It does get expensive, though, if you need to add a seat, though. I mean, $40 a month for like a full-time developer, $500 a year. What I do with my clients is I will just build on my own workspace plan. So I'm on the freelancer plan, as you can see here, because typically I don't need more than 10 sites anyway in my dashboard. And then once we're ready to go live, I will make a client account for them. I will help them purchase a plan based on the parameters here, what they're going to need, and then they host the website themselves, and then they can add me and I have full access from there. So hopefully this video was very helpful for you to be able to make sense of these Webflow pricing plans. I know if you're a business owner or a marketing director, first landing on this pricing page, it might be a bit confusing. So hopefully it clears things up. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get future content like this. And if you're considering a Webflow build, check out the interactive video form. Just a couple quick questions gives me all the information I need to know about your project, and qualified applicants will be able to book a one-to-one strategy call with me directly. That's it for me in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Bye.